Hey there, everyone. So I have a fun tool here that I would like to show you, and it's a issue that's come up with me a number of times where people will get duplicate entries of, say, a patient or an athlete or a customer, and they'll get duplicate entries or different entries separated amongst these different lines. So, with the goal being that you can collate everything onto one line for each patient or each customer with all their orders, all their visits, all of their information. So, I built this tool to fill that need, and basically how it works is it's going through, it sorts everything, and then it says, if this cell equals this cell, it's going to string these together with whatever characters put there, and then it moves on to the next one. Then it sees if this cell equals this cell, it strings it again with that. As soon as it gets to a new name, it'll create a new line for that name and string all of that data together. But it sorts it, so it's going to find all the Johns as long as they're spelled the same and put the information together. Some interesting bells and whistles I added are, for one, it will trim, so you don't have to worry about spaces. It'll go through and remove any spaces. So as long as the spelling's the same, it'll group it together and get that John all on one line. The other thing is that it will get rid of blanks. So if there's a blank in this row or blank in this row for whatever reason, it will remove them completely from the data. It also removes duplicates. So maybe I could do a rendition where it counts. So it could say, that's a project for another day. But for right now, it's going to remove, if there's John Blueberry already exists, it's going to remove that. There will just be one, and it'll be strung together with the other information. And like I said, you can use this character, whatever you need it to be for whatever program you're running. It will string that together. So the actual code is pretty convoluted, believe it or not. So just to kind of walk you through it real quick, we select this string tab. We sort everything and then remove blank rows. So we sort based on column A, then remove blank rows. Then we sort on column B and remove blank rows. Then comes the trimming. So it's going to go through and make sure everything is trimmed so there's no extra spaces at the beginning or the end for both columns. Then we go through and sort again so that they can begin to, it needs to be sorted so it can look at, does this cell equal this cell? Does it equal this cell, this cell, right? Because if it's out of order, then you're not going to be able to collate the data. So yeah, so it starts to do that here, right? We start on, it sets these parameters at 2 and 3 because those are the first two you're looking at. While there's data in this column, it's going to go through and, while this equals this, it's going to continue to go through. And what it's doing is it's adding this C here is this, whatever the character is. So that's how you can interchange it because it's a variable. And then it's going through and adding that variable. And then it's removing duplicates. So you'll have, so you only have one John, one Jeff, one Fred. And if there's last names or whatever, that's cool too. It'll look at that. It's just removing the duplicates. So all that to be, to say that that's something that has been extremely useful for me. And I know that's definitely something that other people might need. So I think I can copy and paste the code on the video. Maybe I can make the file available for download, and then let me know what you think. But let's just run it real quick to make sure it's all working. So you're going to see I just kind of like gave some of these color. And you know what? I'll give Jeff some extra spaces just so we can go back to Jeff. He's the only Jeff, so that should have no spaces at the end. There should be no red. This green might be there, but we can check if there's spaces, I guess, depending on how it's sorted. But there should be no red, right? Because these are just loners. We don't need them in the data, messing everything up. Here you have, BlackBerry over here. Obviously, it doesn't even seem to be in the right row. So we're going to remove that, but we're going to go ahead and do the thing. And I already forgot what I added the spaces for. I think it was Fred, right? Maybe it's Jeff. I don't know. But there's no spaces there. There's no spaces at the beginning, no spaces at the end. Everything's collated with the little squiggly. So that is that. Like I said, maybe in the future I can add, for when there are duplicates, we can add like a counter or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm pretty proud of this. So sayonara.